Hi guys, Chris here for the Patch Universe. So today I wanted to make a video on the subject of humility and together with that subject, the subject of pride. Because believe it or not, in my opinion, these two qualities, which seem to be in opposition all the time, actually go hand in hand. There's a time for pride in life and there's a time for humility. And when you show humility, you need to show pride at the same time. When you show pride, you need to show humility. To start this video, I wanted to say that it was inspired by my good friend George from Australia, from the YouTube channel Gaming My Whole Life. I made a video on my other YouTube channel, Poetry in Style. I talked about the reason why I write poetry. And it was a talent of mine, something I can do. I can write poetry. And I found my voice with that. I'm going to put the link of the video in the description. And a really interesting thing that George said was that the ability to be self-aware and humble, there was part of the discussion. So, but I just wanted to mention that the ability to be self-aware and humble was also a quality and a talent in itself. And I found that really interesting. And I wanted to develop on that because I actually agree. And I also wanted to give a quick shout out to my friend George because for me, this YouTuber is the example of what a YouTuber should be, of what internet should be used for, or YouTube should be used for. It's about creating a bridge of communication between people from different areas of the world. So what I wanted to say, so like with him, you can have long conversations and really gonna communicate. And internet is often used for like different reasons, like insult each other, argument with people you don't know. And I think it's much more healthy to use it that way. So I'm also gonna put a description of his YouTube channel in the description. And if you like video games, please check it out. And if you want to communicate about video games, check it out. You're gonna have really great conversations. I promise you that. So in my journey of life, in I think everybody's journey of life, I realized that humility was important. Why? And also because I realized that as I was traveling, as I was going somewhere else, as I was trying different jobs, and as I was writing poetry. So the reason why it's important to be humble is that it is important to also know, and it's important to be proud because it's important to know what you're good at, and it's also important to know your limitations in life. And it's often in life I realize that you have either one or the other. You have either people who are really modest and who say that they're bad at everything and they're not going to show pride and they think that you should never be proud of your achievement. And there are people who are really arrogant and that's really annoying, even though they have like all the best reasons in the world to be arrogant. I believe that arrogance is never justified because the reason why arrogance is never justified because even if you do really good things, there are people along the way who helped you go there, arrive where you are. And at some point, the reason why you became good at something is because at some point you realized that you were not that good at that. I started writing poetry when I was 15 years old, for example. And if I read my poems of that time, they were not that great. And if I kept going and I go and I read my poems when I was 20 years old, they were better, but some of them were still kind of weird. And right now, I realize that I'm pretty good at doing what I'm doing, but I know that I'm only at the beginning of my journey. I know that I can learn much more on the subject of poetry, and that's just one example. And I also know that the reason why I became good at it is because I had really good people surrounding me, supporting me, like my family, my friends, and people giving me advice. And also, it's important to be proud because at some point you need to be able to stand your ground and say, you know what, I'm good at that, and I know I'm good at that, but I know I can get better. And that's the reason why I think that pride and humility should go hand in hand, because you can know that you're good at something. I know, for example, another thing that really taught me humility is traveling. Because the reason why it's important to travel is to know that the reality that you've known all your life is not the only reality. So, for example, I am here from Belgium. I used to live in England. I used to live in the Netherlands. And I traveled to Mexico. Then I traveled to New York. Then I traveled to Colombia. And I want to keep on traveling to see different reality, different ways of looking at the world. And another thing that's important to note is that a lot of people who travel all around the world will enjoy bragging about it the same way I've just done it. Let's be honest about it. But the thing is, they will learn a lot of things from whom? They will learn things from people from those areas who probably have never traveled. If you go to poor countries, a lot of people in Colombia had never been outside of Colombia, and I learned a lot from these people. So that's the reason why it's important to be humble, because yes, I'm going to travel a lot, and I think I'm learning a lot, but I'm learning from people from different areas. We have had different experiences, you know. And again, I'm proud of what I did, but I can learn a lot, and that's a great thing. That's a great thing. It's about also being grateful. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. I hope I've made it clear. But yeah, I was inspired to make these videos, and yeah, that's the beginning of 2024. I hope the start of the year was great for you. And if you do something, keep on going. Be proud of what you do. You're good at something, but you can get better every time, and that there are people around you, and you can help these people as well. And that's why I'm saying, be humble. You are very important, but everybody else around you is also very important. Arrogance is about saying I am important and you're not. That's different. you know that's the reason why I think that pride and humility go hand in hand. So there you go. That's my video, my first video of the year on this YouTube channel, at least not on the other one. But I hope you have a good time, and have a good day, my friend.